What's up, everybody? Chef Plum, Plum Love Foods, and today we're at Butcher's Best Country Market in Newtown, Connecticut, and I'm going to tell you all about what makes the tender and juiciest steaks you can get on the planet. I got some great things to show you here, so check it out. What I got is a whole tray of different steaks here that Steve from Butcher's Best has set us up with, and he's been fantastic. Find a local butcher, guys. I can't say it enough. And what I'm going to show you is the different cuts of steak I've got here. I think to make a tender and juicy steak, you have to get a good quality steak first, and the cut of steak plays a big role in whether it's tender and juicy. You can see here, I have a beautifully marbled. Marbled is the fat inside the steak, just like that, the white stuff. It's fantastic. It's beautiful. The more marbling, the more flavor you're going to have. However, as far as tenderness goes, a New York strip is not going to be as tender as a filet mignon. But there's a trick you can do. This is a regular New York strip, and what I've got here is another New York strip, but it's bone in. You can see the bone is still there. If you can get a piece of steak or have your butcher cut you a steak with the bone in, it's a giant difference. It retains so much more juices and it just tastes fantastic with that bone in. Not to mention it looks incredible on a plate. Look at that. This steak looks great. This on the plate would look awesome. Same thing here. This is a filet mignon. Not a lot of marbling in there, but a very tender piece of meat even still. So it's going to retain a lot of juice, a lot of moisture. It's going to be great. What I've got here is the same thing. It's a filet mignon, but a bone in. And I got to tell you something, guys. This is something I just learned about today, and I'm losing my mind over it. A bone-in filet mignon. Are you kidding me? What could be bad about that? Nothing. This is a ribeye. Ribeye is a great big chunk of meat, a great big piece of meat. As you can see, it looks great on a plate. Has a lot of marbling and fat in there. But if you get a ribeye, see if you can get the bone-in ribeye. You can eat this. This was like, you could be at the Flintstones, and they put that on the side of the car when Fred was running his little feet on the ground, that big old piece of meat at the drive-in. That's what you need. Bone-in ribeye. Now, guys, one of the most important things to keep your steak juicy is whether you're roasting it or grilling it, once you pull it off the heat, let it rest for a minute. It seizes up, and all those juices kind of seize into it. So once it comes off the heat, out of the oven or off the grill, let it sit, let those juices redistribute throughout the piece of meat. Makes all the difference in the world. And don't forget to season your food. You could also marinate a little bit. You could put any kind of marinade you want to make, olive oil and salt, pepper and garlic, and some sort of vinegar to go with it. Just remember, it's an important thing to do, to always not just put oil in there. Oil can't let things transfer. If you have some kind of oil and liquid, then the things can transfer throughout the meat. I'm Chef Plum, Plum Love Foods, here at Butcher's Best in Newtown, Connecticut. And this is a giant tray of meat that's making me really excited. And that is how you make a tender and juicy steak. I'll see you next time.